everyone, and welcome back to .hack Infection. Don't mind it if you hear my puppy in the background. She is being crated right now, so she's probably screaming bloody murder, but I promise she's alright. So we have some new mail. Black Rose says, hey, anything on your side? And we can tell her that we now have the new virus core. We're one step closer. Because we did just get the Q virus core, which now allows us to get into that area we couldn't get into before. We got our first mail from Gardenia. She says, I'm going to beautiful someone's treasure gem. That's essentially her invitation that we need to go there. And Piero sent us a mail, and he has a question for us. I'll never forget what it's like to be young, but I have a dilemma because I have the heart of a boy. My youth was dedicated to graphics. What does youth mean to you? So our choices are right now. I don't really know, but I guess it's right now. Or we can say, you make no sense at all. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, and say, I don't really know, but I guess it's right now. Because we gotta remember, Kite is actually very young. So he's not very old at all. Actually, I think is he in middle school? He's either in middle school or early high school. I forget. He said how old he was, but he's like super young. Let's play tag. Whatever. Author, Albert. You guys are all wussies. What does eavesdropping and food have anything to do with this, Gob? I'm Albert the Early Bird, one of the 4 Gob Kings, Gob. I've been up since 5 a.m. Come to detestable golden new truth at 6 a.m., Gob. Come alone, Gob. So now we have a new area for the goblin stuff, too. So there is that. Now, obviously I want to see what we need to do for Gardenia. We still need gear for her as well, so there's that. But she is in the other server, so we're gonna go ahead and go there. And we still need grunty food as well, so there is that. But yeah, I'm trying to find my flow between trying to raise a puppy, obviously, and play games.
Theta, cursed despaired paradise. You are coming with me, right?
I mean, yeah.
Sure. Let's try it out.
Alright, so we are supposed to try it out, but first I want to do that thing with Gardenia if we can. Sometimes this game likes to force you to do stuff, which is why you always want to make sure that you are
It's you. I'm on my way.
That's why you always want to make sure you are pretty much as equipped as you can be. Alright, can we invite Elk? Is he gonna let us? No. Ugh, I want to level up Elk, but,
Alrighty, I'm coming!
I want to do that, but then again. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Chaos Gate, word list. Beautiful someone's treasure gem. It is a level 18 wood area, which means earth magic is going to be the most effective. Alas, I'm going to have to rely on my scrolls because I don't really have that. Which is fine because we can get rid of the scrolls. Whoa.
So, what's in here?
Do you think a Hitori Shizuka would grow here?
What is that?
That's what you're looking for? I hope you can find it.
Not here. It blossoms, then falls quietly on the mountainsides.
You're a real romantic, Gardenia.
Shut up.
I love that he's just laughing about it. He's like, that's why I like some of these interactions, So obviously she chose the name Gardenia because she really likes plants. Most of the areas that we will go for her have to do with plants. Which, isn't really that bad. Alright, so this guy, gosh, missed from the first aid. We want to take care of these, oh god. We want to take care of these, wisps. They're going to be the hardest thing to do. Virus core. Don't really need those, but... And phantom wings, they have life drain. So, that's the only thing that's an issue. increases target's accuracy. We'll go ahead and give her that. That way she's not missing as much. Let's see, and then skills. Back ROM. At least my skills are doing some stuff, but yeah, Gardenia's like doing a whole heck of a lot of nothing. And if we're gonna run into these like all throughout, we're gonna have an issue. At least she can heal us all at once, but yeah, antidote. This is gonna be something. This is gonna be a challenge. Should have leveled up beforehand, but sometimes they don't let you, so. Alright, what do I got here? For Twin Blade, for Blade Master, Midnight Axe, Ice Helm, Winter Coat, Fireman's Coat. Grand Armor. Frost Armor. Ooh, it's Grandpa! I'm gonna say
Was
that
it a
it's
gold?
neither.
What?
See you later.
See you later, alligator.
Looks like a chick.
Ooh, Inu. Okay, what is Inu? Inu, level 10. Nice. So what's my current equipment? I should know this, but I don't. Alright, so this does give me life drain. What does Inu give me? So Inu gives me, ooh, staccato and blazing wheel. It'll give me 30 in fire element, 38 in accuracy, and 18 in attack. But I lose my life drain, which actually right now is really good.
Mandragora!
So right now I'm not going to equip Inu. I'm going to keep it, but I'm not going to equip it right now. Eventually, I'm going to get a pair of blades that I'm going to use throughout. Just not yet. Trying to avoid those portals. Don't want to look at them. Don't want to look at them, don't want to activate them, because I don't even know how we're going to make it through this dungeon, honestly. Let me see.
What?
What do you mean, what? Give me your... She has spell blades. Hands of wood. Health charm. She can't have that because it's a long arm. She can't have that because it's a long arm. Let me see what she has. Change equipment. She has the Amazon Spear, Nomad's Hood, which is level 2. Ugh. Ring Mail, level 7. And leather gloves. No wonder she was dying. Okay, yeah.
What?
Alright, so you need this.
Got it. I'll make use of it.
Yeah, you better. No, I don't want to give her any of that. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully we can find some good stuff in here. Because, yeah, Gardenia needs equipment. I should have probably bought some or traded for some before we went in here. But maybe now that she has a little bit more defense, she won't die so easily. Or maybe I'll find even more stuff. So, but yeah, if ever you hear my puppy scream...
When I see the fluffy head of a dandelion, a thought always crosses my mind.
What is that thought, Gardenia?
Like it would feel good if you could fly like that?
Ooh.
No. I think it would itch when the fluff got in your ears.
Poor Kite's trying to match her energy, and she's just like, nah. Oh, I love it. That's probably why she's one of my favorites. Like, I don't know, it's because she's not unpredictable, but she's unpredictable. Oh, man. You just never know. Alright, Mistral, you are first aid. seems to work really well, but I really don't have the MP, so there is that. How do you not have, like, antidotes, Mistral? Like, you're a healer. You should have these things. Goodness. I really do wish that they would re-release this game with achievements. Not really sure what the achievements would be. I mean, obviously you'd have the usual. You'd have your story-related ones. You would have, you know, maybe they could give you an achievement for getting all the grunties. Alright, so these ones are thunder-based. The only issue with these is that they can resurrect one another. So obviously when this one dies, then the other one will resurrect him, and it's kind of a back and forth. So what I normally do with these guys is I do drain one of them. Yeah, see, so it's instant resurrect whenever we kill one. So yeah, so what I do is I always data drain one, I kill the other one, and then obviously we can go and finish off the other thingy. Of course, this then means that our virus core level goes up, so... I think that's honestly like one of the things I had trouble with when it came to one of the dungeons in, oh gosh, was it Mutation or Outbreak? It was either Mutation or Outbreak, but there was a single like person dungeon, so sometimes in the story they'll have you just go into a dungeon as yourself. So you want to make sure that you have adequate supplies so that you can heal yourself and all that other stuff. And, but anyways, I had to go in by myself, and they were all monsters that had to, they were all, like, they all had issues with, like, virus and everything else, and obviously you have to manage your virus core levels, but you have to take down the enemies, and, it's really just a balancing game, but it can be really, really difficult, which is never fun. So, that was kind of the issue that I kept running into. Was that I was trying to data drain the things I couldn't defeat, because Kite himself is actually pretty squishy. You know, Twin Blades are more about being quick, and stuff. They're supposed to be, quote, balanced. Data drain it, I don't want to. Again, I just don't have a lot of MP. Oh, that's right, shit. So our designation here is going to be mini-ear items. Health drink. We can take out mini-ear. Yeah, we can take out mini-ear. We don't even have to data drain him because there's nothing else to bring him out. We can designate target, and it will be the Wisp. There we go. Actually, her level is increased. That's nice. I'm gonna take out that Dark Witch, which is gonna cause us any sorts of issues. Yeah, I am going to give Mage's Soul to myself, and Mage's Soul to... Gardenia, what skills do you have? Triple Doom, it's a... Rue Cruise. A two-handed spear, powerful attack above and below the waist.
Triple Doom!
That did nothing. I have a feeling my puppy got out. I don't know how she did it, but she somehow got out. Because I hear her. I hear her speaking. My puppy is an escape artist. But you know what? It is what it is. Might as well open my door. Since she's clearly an escape artist and my dog's knocked down my baby gate. Man, oh man, oh man. Y'all are just too much today. Y'all just too much today. Come here, Lily Bee. Goodness. Goodness. Alright, let's check out this fire dance hat. Maybe it's something that we can give her. Fireman's coat, fire dance hat. Alright.
What?
Don't you what me. You're gonna take this fire dance hat.
Got it.
Yeah, you better make use of it. Goodness. I'll say, her defense is crap. Fireman's coat, which we already gave her one, so she has the worm scale. And then... let's see. What else? So we already gave her that. And fireman's coat. You're getting a lot of fireman's coat. I mean, it's good because it doesn't count as having more items per se. This is a weird dungeon. And I really hope it's not a long one either. Oh, no. So here's what we're going to do. Gardenia, we are going to designate target. We are going to designate the Dark Witch. We are going to use this Dark Witch. Because we're dead. Oops, wrong one. Stroll, first aid, items, resurrect. Okay, Dark Witch is taken care of. So now we are going to designate target. We are going to take care of this first Wizzy Wisp. Alright, now let's take care of these guys using skills. Alright, so items. Not restorative. Health drink. There we go. Obviously, she has like the most as far as, like, you know, like MP, so like I'm trying to utilize that, but she doesn't have, I don't know, for a wood elemental thing, we've not run into very many wood element. I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most about this, is that, you know, it'll tell you like, oh hey, this is a wood element area. You know, which normally wouldn't be bad. You're like, okay, wood element, which means I need earth element, right? But it doesn't actually give you proper time, like, or I mean, proper information to prepare. Because like I said, we've been running into the wisps, which are a dark element, which requires thunder elements to negate. We've been running into the wisps, or not the wisps, the little moth thingies, and those have no element, which is fine. The dark witches, again, you know, that's a darkness. And then the Menhir, those are thunder. So, I have not seen a single wood-type creature since we've come in here. So I feel like it just kind of gives you false information. It mostly just tells you what the arena is going to be like, but I don't think that's fair, because I think it should tell you also, like, what type of enemy you're going to be running into as well, so. But that's just me. What do I know? Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Gardenia, we are going to designate target. We are going to designate the Dark Witch at first. Minstrel, you are going to be on first. The only thing with spellcasters is they run so far away so that you can't hit them. And then whenever they cast a spell, you're essentially stuck in place. So you have to get close enough to cast a spell. Alright, so now we are going to designate target. We are going to designate this noisy wisp. And as long as Mistral can keep us alive, maybe, just maybe, we can make it better. Now I could be data draining some of these guys, that is true, to make it easier on myself. But again, it's kind of a balancing game. I don't think I need any B data cores. So, increases wood element, increases earth element. I am gonna have to buy more Mage's Soul after this, though. There we go. I mean, we have gotten some gear for Gardenia, so it's not bad, but boy, this dungeon is painful. Alright, so fortune wire. Fire helm, another fire helm. I want to get every item, and in order to get every item, I have to open basically every portal. That's fine, because now we have this nice little reprieve where everybody can get their MP back. Plus, we could use the Holy Sap. I keep forgetting, like, if we already did the Holy Sap or not. As far as, like, trading, so. I'll have to remember whether we did or not. Okay, so it's good we went this way, because we have to go the other way anyways. I didn't know if the room's connected or not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You never know. So, but no, I recently did a stream with my friend Leaky Comet and his friend Jason. Jason was playing Sonic Adventures 2, and so I was kind of, quote, co-hosting that with Leaky. We were commentating while he helped Jason through the game. Okay, so, like, I played Sonic when I was a kid. Like, I played, you know, obviously classic Sonic. Since then, I kind of watched other people play Sonic games, and a lot of them look really fun. I just haven't played them myself. I own some, but again, it just wasn't a game that I had played, because I was more always on the Mario side of things. Not that I think it's better per se, it's just, you know, that's just what I always had. So, it was just one of those things. Maybe got into the squeaker. But yeah, so it was just one of those things. Look at that. See, those fights are okay. It's those wisps that are the problem. What are you doing, Lily Bean? Yeah, so my puppy gave me a little bit of a scare. She ate some plastic. Because, you know, when I think of puppies, I know that they chew on everything. But I don't expect them to break apart a trash can and eat it. I expect them to eat garbage sometimes, but not like an actual like trash can. So yeah, so she bit into my trash can that I keep in my gaming room, because I have a trash can in every like room. And she ate some of the plastic, some of the little blue plastic. And so I've been up with her just to make sure that she's okay. She doesn't seem to be in any distress. She's eating and playing normally. So I've already called the vet in case I have to do anything in that regard. So Mistral, first aid. So she's been something. Puppies are a lot of hard work. I know you're gonna hear me say that a lot, but they are a lot of hard work. So, because you gotta puppy-proof your house. It's like having a kid. You gotta, make sure that there's things that they can't put in their mouth, that they're not gonna chew on or hurt themselves with, and you start seeing like everything as a hazard. So I've got like my wires and stuff. I've got to go through and zip tie those today. I bought like a specific shelf to get them off the floor. Just those sorts of things. But yeah, it's an adventure. And then of course, when they eat foreign objects, then they don't feel good, and or when she's frustrated, and you kind of have to learn their body language. I didn't mean to do that. But you have to learn their body language. And like when they make certain noises, you gotta be like, okay, what's making you uncomfortable? Is it because I'm not picking you up? Is it because you're hungry? Like, what is it that's going on? So, like I said, you're just gonna hear me talking about it a lot until she gets older, and then, she can be left to her own devices like my other dogs. Just unfortunately not at that stage yet.
Amateur 8!
Oh, this is the final floor. Okay, alright. Good deal, good deal. I just now noticed. So we only have 3 more portals. So, first aid. Where's the slow the cruise and the I think I looked before and I have all those 3 wisps. Twin darkness. Okay, let's see what I got as far as spells that can hit everybody. Dark Knight, Night Blight, the Lovers. Let's see if we can charm him so he'll attack his allies. Okay, Death. It's our charmed guy. He's got health down. And then... Joke's that doesn't really do much. Meteors converge, fire tempest. Oh, they cast death. That's the big thing. Something. It's not my favorite, per se, but, like I said, thanks for taking him out. And the experience will be good for Gardenia as well. See, that's the thing. How can you be an idol on a more powerful server, and you're, like, level 11? Like, explain that to me. There we go. taste of victory. Yeah, victory won by all my items. But you know, it works, so I'm not even gonna be mad about it. Alright, so before we go into the Got statue, obviously I want to take out these final two portals. Oh. I know the back cruise works really well on them, so I'm just gonna take them out real quick using that. I'm not even gonna bother with the antidotes right now. There we go. Now we can bother with the antidotes. Man, y'all better be lucky I have a lot of money.
Golden egg.
All that for a golden egg. But you know, we ain't gonna complain. Ooh, we love to see it. Fireman's coat, we don't need that because we gave her the worm scale. Oh, and now we can go to the Got statue. Nice. Graceful book. Mage's soul and a silver scarab. So she wants the book.
Did you ask me to come along so I could find this item?
You think too much. Let's go back.
I mean, but did we give her the graceful book?
What?
I mean... Oh, physical accuracy. Oh.
I have nothing to say.
Well, fine. I don't have anything to say to you either. Alright, I do want to go shopping. Oh, first I'm going to take this book, though. Items... Graceful book. Alright, so I am going to go here. I want to see what I can buy her. Alright, so wooden spear is level 4. Face guard, so she can only have these things. Guard cap. Worm hide. Silver gloves. And mountain boots. Man, they don't really have much. What do you have? Wish I could get good items. Well, you know, if you have stuff that I need... Mountain helm, blaze armor. Can't use any of that. What about you? You got stuff to trade? Trade. Okay, wooden spear. Man, hands of water, ice hunter cap, hands of fire. Nothing. What about you? The feng shui. I need that feng shui. So, what do you want? I'll trade 1 feng shui for 25 well water. That was cyan. How much well water do I have? 1. Did I already talk to you? Strange blade. Air wand. Aqua guard. Smith's gloves. Smith's gloves would be good. Do you want silver gloves and some frost armor? Alright. Trade. Tolerance book. What do you want for that? 1 frost weight pure water. 25 pure water. Gardenia, come back. Gardenia,
What?
come back. First of all, take these Smith's gloves.
Got it.
Gardenia, come back! Gardenia, come back! God, she's so fast.
What?
And then take these mountain boots.
Got it.
Goodness. Women. So I need what? Well water and pure water? Alright. so let's see what we got. So we have nothing. Alright, so we don't have enough of any of those things. Only sap. So, I mean, that's okay. It happens. Also, we want to store our silver scarab. Okay. Now I need to sell some stuff because I have a whole lot of nada. The thing is like, I'm sure I could use some of these things for, like... Okay, so... Party, let's go ahead and disband. And then let's go ahead and add Senjuro, because the thing is like, he's a heavy blade. Level 17.
Oh, it's you.
And then once he logs in, we're gonna do everyone gather. Because, let's see what his stuff is. He's got silver hands, which are 8. Yeah, 13. 8. 13. So all his stuff is like 8 and 13.
Hey, what's...
Alright, so let's see what we can give him. Fireman's coat, winter coat, fire helm. So he can do the fire helm, which is 23.
Hey. Hey, what's...
Let's see. Midnight Axe, Fugaku, Inu, Grand Armor. Yeah, so we just gave him the fire helm.
Hey.
Okay, he received that, so that's all we have. Alright, so we didn't really have too much to give him. Alright, so we are going to sell some stuff. I don't need the cat's blades. I want to keep Inu. I don't need Fugaku. Definitely don't need all these freaking winter coats and crap. Fire helm. I don't think I'm gonna need it. Fireman's coat. Let's see, it's level 21 body armor. Ice helm. Twin blade long arm, wave master. Might be able to use it for Pyros, but I'm not sure. Midnight axe. So obviously I'll hold on to that. And then we need to go to the item shop, which is Disaway, so I can restock my items. Alright, so we are going to buy. So, antidote. I have 56. We'll just go ahead and do 4. Mage's Soul. This is what I need the most of. I always want to be at least at 20. Health drink, 59. We'll just take 1. Resurrect. Try and stay at 20. Fortune Wire. Try and stay at 30. Sprite or Garena I don't really use much. And we are going to want to put at 11. Because again, we want to be at 30. Alright, so... Seems like we are good. I want to make sure that I save. And then instead of going and doing one of the other quests, I want to go ahead and level up some people and get some grunty food. So, let's see, party, add, Sanjuro, where did she, okay, she ended up at level 15, that's not bad.
It's...
Alright, so we are going to go ahead and add Gardenia back, we are going to add Mistral back, and we're just going to do a random sort of thing. But we are going to head back to this server because Gardenia is a lower level, and these are higher level areas, so. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and do random. whoa, Raging Eternal Twin Hills. This is only level 2. I don't really expect to get anything. I didn't even know they could go this low. But we could get grunty food. So I'm kind of curious what kind of grunty food is in this area. Plus, we can get our golden axe and silver axe from this area as well. So it's never a bad thing. Every area has its use, low level or high level. Whoa.
This...
Let's throw in this. Yep, and we'll say it was neither one.
Did
And then he'll say he can't do anything.
just between with a weapon of this level.
So he'll give us both a golden axe and a silver axe.
Till
Which, again, we need, so... Alright, it's these. But we can kill them in one hit, so... And you know, we're getting at least one experience. You know, and that's the thing I love. So, even if... I did run into this sort of issue, right? So, even if you are obviously over-leveled, the thing that I love about this is that, even if you're over-leveled, you can still get one experience. And so it's not like you're getting 0 experience, which makes things really nice. It allows you to run into enemies you may have never run into before. And also, like, it's not totally worthless, per se. Okay, I've not seen any grunty food, so we're just gonna go ahead and go into the dungeon. So it's like, yeah, are you totally, like, just inching it when it comes to experience? Sure, but it's better than nothing. But there were a couple of times where I ended up in a grind where I was, like, just grinding these sorts of areas. And it was very, very not fun. But one of the things about this game is that the dungeons really do get kind of repetitive. So, I mean, the areas basically all essentially look the same. Even when you get into new servers like Dun Lareg, the fields themselves don't really have too much variety. And then, of course, you have the issue of the enemies. Now, enemies can have some variety, but not really. So you kind of run into this thing. Ooh, now we're getting lightning magic. This will actually be really good, because we've been running into a lot of dark elemental enemies. So I will take that lightning magic. But yeah, it really is just one of those things where the game itself just ends up really repetitive. It's just go to dungeon, finish dungeon, you know, log out, read mail, go to dungeon. So, yeah, it kind of just does end up being one of those things that gets really annoying over time. So, for some people. And I think that's why the Emox series wasn't as popular as the GU series, because there was... Essentially, people say it just didn't age well, and that it had way too much repetitiveness, which I would argue GU probably has its own sort of repetitiveness, but probably not to the extent that this does, just because this was, you know, the early game. So they could take what they learned from here, and they could obviously, like, you know, improve it for future games. But I would like to see this game, you know, remade. Not even remastered, I would like to see it remade. Because I do think it has some balancing issues. I do think it has some sections that are just way too hard. And I would like to see it put into a collection where it's all 4 games just in one. Like they did with GU. So... And then maybe they could, like, add some features to make it more appealing. That, I think, would be the smart thing to do. But yeah, obviously they would have to do some balancing issues where, like, you know, the element of the arena would have to match, like, the enemies to an extent, unless you have, like, non-elemental enemies, which I think would be the best way to balance things that way. But then there's just the matter of, you know, maybe just adding some new dungeons, you know, just some new aesthetics, and that would be kind of cool. And now that there's been more like .hack stuff that's been released, they could even like add maybe more Easter eggs or something. But just imagine, you know, you get this game and it's all 4 games in one, and it's the entire Liminality series. Like, that'd be so cool. It could literally be just a 2-disc release with Liminality and Liminality and Gift, because you have to include Gift, which I'll talk about sometime, I'm sure. But it would have to be Liminality and Gift, and then, you know, you could have all 4 games on one disc. And then, yeah, I mean, you're still gonna have the inflation of the actual, like, old games. Because nowadays, if you try and buy a physical copy of .hack Quarantine, you're looking anywhere from $250 to $800. Which, of course, I think is crazy. What kind of dungeon layout is this? I guess we're gonna go this way. But no, I mean, I obviously don't expect Gardenia to level up, but we are encountering new enemies, and like I said, we are getting lightning magic. So it's not all bad. Plus, using my fortune wires actually helps me out a lot, because for the Ryu books, the more stuff that you open, as far as like treasure chests and stuff, especially like the, you know, the trapped chests, there's achievements for that as well. And I like opening the Ryu books because I like all the stuff it gives me. I can then customize my desktop. So I probably will start doing that, where after like so many episodes, we'll just go ahead and open the Ryu book, see what we get. Or, you know, if ever it comes down to it and you see that my, you know, my, what is it? My background has changed, then that's probably why. It's because of the Ryu books. Sports drink. Alright. Immature egg. I mean, we are getting a lot of those. I also need well water and pure water, which I don't think we'll get here, but you never know. Sports drink. But no, like, I don't know. Like I said, something about this game has always been super charming. Because you gotta think, it mimics an MMO so well. This game meant a lot to me because I guess at the time, you know, I grew up out in the country and we didn't have internet, right? I was one of those kids that was made fun of because we, quote, had internet, but it was really crappy dial-up. You know, the world was quickly moving into Wi-Fi, and even, you know, the people that didn't have Wi-Fi, they had better connection services than I had. I had friends that could sit there and play RuneScape and go do all this cool stuff, and I could only dream about playing, like, an online game with my friends. And so, like, that was just one of those things where it was really frustrating, because I had my PlayStation 2, you know, and so when, like, Final Fantasy X came out and things like that, you know, I could relate to my friends whenever we were playing the same game. But ultimately, they were having all these adventures without me on these online games, like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, and all this other stuff. I forget what other games they played. There was, like, a few other ones that they were playing. And, you know, they would talk about, like, chasing chickens and going into these powerful dungeons, and I was always just so envious of it, you know? And, heck, I remember one time, my teacher embarrassed me by making me retype my entire essay because, you know, I didn't have Word. I only had WordPad, so I couldn't do the double spacing that he wanted me to do, and I had to spend all of class retyping the essay that I had done. And it was so embarrassing because of just the lack of equipment I had, you know, for schooling in what they expected in this, you know, clearly, you know, quickly advancing technological world.
Amateur egg!
And so, you know, games like this, where it mimics being on the computer so well, like, it kind of filled a gap for me, I think. It kind of filled that void where I'm like, okay, you know, normally I don't get to play with my friends. I don't get to do these things with my friends. You know, so like I said, it kind of just filled a void in me, you know, which I'm thankful for. And I think that's why I was so addicted to it. And actually, it was also one of those friends who was always like on those online games. He gave this to me as a gift. So, it was my buddy Cameron. It was a kid I had gone to kindergarten with, like, etc. Like, we basically grew up together. And every once in a while, he would just give me something. He'd be like, "Here, you'll like this." Like, he gave me Final Fantasy X. He gave me Dot Hack Infection. Like, he was just like, "Yeah, here, I got, you know, I have this copy, I have this game, you can have this, you can borrow this." Like, now granted, the dude was kind of smitten with me, you know, but at the same time, you know, he was probably one of my best friends at the time, and he was always giving me stuff. And yeah, one day I was just on the bus, and he was like, yeah, and I had started watching Dot Hack on, Toonami. And so I told him, I was like, dude, because I was obsessed with Dragon Ball Z at the time, and I was just like, I don't know. And I was into other animated series as well, but mostly I would just, you know, stay on Toonami for certain things. And, you know, mostly I just wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z, but I'd seen Dot Hack Sign, and I started, like, talking about it constantly. I was like, oh man, Dot Hack Sign, this is so cool. They're in this online game, and this one person can't log out, and, like, you know, and, yeah. We were on the bus one day, and Cameron's like, "Oh yeah, like I heard you really like this series, so here you go." And he was like, "I think you'll like this game." And I asked him, I was like, "Well, did you like it?" And he was like, I played it and it was okay. He's like, "I played it and it was alright." He goes, "Nothing like super crazy special, but you know," he's like, "I like it enough, but I think you'll like it more." Oh, and sure enough, like I just obsessed over this game. So. And looking back, I kept thinking to myself, like, why couldn't he get into this game, you know? Like, that was so crazy. But then again, like, nowadays, I kind of understand it. When you have, like, I'm not going to say better quality games, but it's like when you're playing, like, RPGs already on the, you know, on the PC, and then, you know, you kind of have to go back to PlayStation 2, where things are maybe not as impressive, then I kind of get it, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the PlayStation 2 is not impressive, I'm just saying for the time. And you have to understand, like, the internet was still such a new thing when I was little, so at the time, you know, the computer games could look like absolute crap, but because they were computer games, you know, because they were on the internet, they were considered more impressive. They were considered new and crazy, you know? So it's like, don't get me wrong, you know? I was like, one of y'all have to have an antidote. But yeah, but it's like, so don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying PlayStation 2 is bad or anything like that, but you know, if you had a computer, and if you had a computer that could run PC games, like, you were basically the shit at the time. So, man, this dungeon's long. How come every time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna grind a dungeon, I end up with the 4 or 5 level dungeon?
Amateur egg.
A lot of immature eggs down here, though. But yeah, I think that'll always just stick with me, how, you know, this game, the only reason I ever played it was because legit my friend was just like, here you go. You can have mine. You can have my copy. Stuff like that just tickles me. Well, it's just like, so before I had a PlayStation 2, and I remember this so much, right? I was seeing commercials for Kingdom Hearts. Now, I was already a Final Fantasy fan, right? I had 7, 8, and 9 on PlayStation 1. 9 was my favorite. And, you know, I hadn't really beaten them, but I was always playing. And not only did I know that Final Fantasy X was going to be coming out, but when I saw Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this, but there's just this feeling in your soul that you need this. Like, you will not survive. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just this feeling of, I have to have it, and if I don't have it, I'm gonna die. And it gave, like, just the commercial for Kingdom Hearts, and like I said, this might be the Tism speaking, just the commercial for Kingdom Hearts, right? It gave me such a serotonin boost. Like, you know when you get so excited you just want to, like, cry? That's essentially how I felt. I was so excited watching these commercials that I wanted to bawl my eyes out. Man, this is gonna be a 5-level dungeon. Goodness. This is supposed to be a beginning area? I mean, I guess everything's all spread out. But, like, what is this random generation nonsense? I love how the enemies are so low level that Gardenia doesn't even bother. She's like, yeah, no, this is all you, Chief. Actually, it's probably because, oh yeah, because I... Union battle, everyone attack the same enemy, do not use skills or items. I always hate these strategies because they're like, don't use skills or items. So much for attacking the same enemy, Gardenia. That's not uniform. But no, anyways, back to Kingdom Hearts. So I was watching Kingdom Hearts, I would watch the commercial, and I just kept thinking, like, I need this game, like, but I didn't have a PlayStation 2. And I kept saying, Mom, I need this game, I need a PlayStation 2, I need this. And she was like, well, you know, honey, I don't know what to tell you. You know, Christmas maybe. And I always hated that. I always hated Christmas maybe. You know, and I get it, my family, you know, we were essentially poor. I'm not gonna, like, try and sugarcoat it. You know. And, you know, gaming is expensive. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not. So, you know, obviously there was that whole thing of, you know, we can't really afford it right now. And it's like, alright, fine. So, I kind of just accepted Kingdom Hearts was not in my future. Because I always knew that when my parents said Christmas maybe, it was really just Christmas maybe, and, like, there was, like, that chance I wasn't gonna get it. Because it really was gonna be too expensive. And so I had started, you know, telling my friends about it. And, you know, all of them had PlayStation 2s. All of them had, like, all the cool new games, whatever. And when Kingdom Hearts finally did come out, I still did not have a PlayStation 2. And therefore could not play it. And I was really depressed about it. But my friend, JF, he had it. And, it's like he had the game. And so I went over to his house and I would play it. And, you know, that only made me fall even more in love with the game. And I was like, okay, now I definitely need this game. Well, JF's family was actually pretty well off. I always had this thing about making rich friends and never being rich myself. But anyways, so his family was pretty well off, and I guess, and I had a Game Boy Advance at the time. Well, I guess after Kingdom Hearts, they released, you know, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is canonically the second, it's the game that takes place after Kingdom Hearts 1, in between that and Kingdom Hearts 2. And so, but it's a card game. It's not an actual, like, you know, there's fighting involved, but it all has to do with your deck of cards. And, but yeah, again, totally obsessed with Kingdom Hearts, really wanted Kingdom Hearts, only had a Game Boy Advance and a PlayStation 1. And so, my friend JF, for my birthday, got me Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And even though I hated that game, just the fact that it allowed me to play Kingdom Hearts, I was so happy. You know, granted, was it the weirdest way to play fucking Kingdom Hearts? Yeah. Looking back, I probably should play it again, but again, it's a card game, and ugh. And what gets me is I got all the way to the end. I basically, like, struggle bugged my way all the way to the end of this game. And then I could not beat the final boss because my deck was not good enough. And then when I was like, okay, well, I'll just go back and grind for a better deck, the grinding is also a nightmare in that game. I'll have to talk about it sometime on this channel. They did eventually re-release Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the PlayStation 2, which I thought was interesting. And I did play that one as well. And I'm glad that it exists. I remember one of my first gaming blogs, back when I first started my blog, one of my first gaming blogs was comparing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on... Oops. Was essentially exploring the differences between the two. Sorry, the weather is still pretty dry, so my throat's all gloomy. Oh my gosh, we are almost done. I bet you that little room is the God statue. I always choose the longest dungeons. Why do I do this to myself? Alright, Mistral, first aid. Thank you. Oh my gosh, is the end in sight? Is the end near? And that's the thing too, some of these dungeons are just way too long. Some of them, I think the longest dungeon was like 8 floors one time, and it just kept going. And I was just like, why is it this long? And it's like, I kind of thought about that when showcasing this game. I was like, we're mostly just going to be showing off, you know, these dungeons, because we're going to spend most of our time in these dungeons. But these dungeons are so repetitive that there's not really too much to show off. So that was a legitimate concern, but you guys seem to really, really like this series so far. So we obviously have some .hack fans in my subscribers, which I can appreciate. So I always love it when my subscribers love the same niche thing that I love. It just makes my life so much better. Because I love being able to geek out with people, so, you know, sometimes you're able to do it, sometimes you're not, especially when it comes to things like .hack and Nier and Drakengard and stuff like that. You try talking to people about these sort of things, they're like, oh, I've never played it, or oh, I didn't even know that was a thing, and it's like, what? And it gets so frustrating. I don't want safety shoes. I don't want safety shoes. Who needs safety? Not I. Ooh, look at that god statue. That's interesting. You now have assassin. What is assassin? Yellow candy. And a rainbow card. Nice. I want to know more about these gods and stuff. That's what I want to know about. Alright, so that's all I got for this episode. We're just going to go ahead and leave it here now that we've done some grinding. Didn't get anything new for Gardenia, but you know, that happens sometimes. Come on, let's go, she says so impatiently. But anyways, leave a like if you like the series and if you want to see more. If you want to geek out about something niche in the comment section, we can go ahead and do that. I always love discussion. If you want to talk about puppies, I'll be posting more of Lily on my community. My community is now live, so you can go ahead and check that out. Thank you guys so much for your continued support on my channel. It means a lot. I know right now I'm going through a weird period of uploading just because with the new puppy and stuff, but I really appreciate your guys' patience. So thank you guys so much, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Alright, ciao you guys!